let's actually comment out this if statement here and this ending curly brace of this if statement. And we could actually put this for statement, put this for a loop outside of this onClick method, okay? And inside of the onCreate method, so that the execution of this for loop would happen only once, okay? So let's actually copy this for loop here, and let's actually put it here after this student reviews array, okay? And then let's actually comment out this for loop here inside of this onClick method, okay? And this onCreate method is going to be actually executed only when the application is actually run by the user, when the user actually touches the icon of the application in his or her phone, and then our application starts. In that time, this onCreate method is going to be executed, okay? So let's actually create a toast in order to show you that when this method is going to be called. A toast is actually a way in order to actually show a message to the user, okay? I'll talk more about toast later in this course, but for now, remember this is actually a way in order to show a message to the user. So here inside of this onCreate method, here for example, I can just type in toast dot make text. So here we need to actually specify three arguments, okay? So for the first argument, just type in here this, comma, and here we need to actually specify the text that I want to show you to the user. So here I just put in 2 double quotes. As you can see here, the type of this variable is char sequence. So we could just put in 2 double quotes, and here I can just type in onCreate method is called, okay, comma, and here we need to actually specify the duration of this message. So here I can just type in toast dot length long. Okay, here after the ending rounding bracket of this method, I could just type in dot show. Okay, here I called the show method on this toast here, okay? And let's actually run our project and see what happens. So now let's actually run our project and see what happens. As you can see here, now we can see this method, this message here, onCreate method is called. Let's actually click on this button here. As you can see here, we put this for loop here inside of this onCreate method. And after that for loop, I actually called this setOnClickListener method on this btn results. Okay, and here we are actually putting these lines of code in order to show these values to the screen. So let's actually click on this button and let's see what happens. As you can see, we can see these values here. And let's actually click on this button again. As you can see here, these values don't change anymore here, okay? This for loop is going to be executed only once, okay? And then inside of this setOnClickListener method, inside of this onClick method, we can see we just tried to output these values, the values that are actually inside of these variables to the screen, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Let's actually comment out this for loop here because I want to show you another way in order to actually write your codes, okay? I want to show you to use actually switch instead of if statements in order to actually specify the correct values and output those values to the screen, okay? So here, as you can see, we commented out this for loop here. Let's actually uncomment this for loop, okay? And now let's actually uncomment this if statement, this if first time statement here, okay? I think this is the best solution for this problem, okay? And uncomment this first time variable here. As you can see, we assign the value of false to this first time, and here uncomment the ending curly brace, as you can see here, of this if statement. So now let's actually comment out these if statements here, okay? As you can see here, now I want to actually use the switch statement in order to actually specify the correct values and output those values to the screen, okay? So here I can just type in switch, okay? And inside the parentheses, I can just type in student reviews, brackets, and inside the brackets, I can just refer to the name of the index variable. And here I can just open and close my switch statement by using these curly braces. So inside of the switch statement, as you can see here, I can just type in case, okay, case 5 colon, okay, plus 5 stars review, okay, semicolon, break. And here what I am saying is switch between the values of these student reviews subindex, okay. So for example, for the first time that this loop is going to be executed, the value of this index variable is 0, and here it's going to actually check this condition. So 0 is less than the value of the length of this student reviews array, okay. So it's going to actually go inside of this for loop, and then it's going to actually execute this switch statement. So here we are saying that switch between the values of these student reviews subindex. So the value of the index for the first time is 0, okay. So student reviews sub 0, as you can see here, this means that the value that is inside of the index 0 is, for example, as you can see here, 5, number 5, okay. So as you can see here, inside of this switch statement, I am saying that case, it means that in case the value that is inside of the index 0 of this array is number 5, which it is, as you can see, the value is number 5, okay. Then increment the value of this 5 stars review variable by 1, and then return that value to me, okay. And then break out of this switch statement, okay. So here again I can just type in case 4 plus 4 stars review semicolon break case 3 plus 3 stars review semicolon break case 2 colon plus 2 stars review semicolon break case 1 colon plus 1 star review semicolon break, okay. So now the result of this switch statement is actually the same as the result of these if statements that we actually created here, okay. So now let's actually run our project again and let's see what happens. So as you can see here, our application is actually running on this emulator. So let's actually click on this show me the results button. As you can see, we can see these values again here, okay. So let's actually click on this button again. As you can see, these values don't change. Our application is actually working right, okay. So hopefully that makes sense, and I think that's enough for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please post a discussion in the course and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.